Okay, a little update on the projects. Super impressed at my sewing skills with this mod of the Mountain Hardgear hat. Looks great even folded up. I mean, I'm amazed at it. I zigzag that so tight. It's kind of like a serger look. Um, to expand that medium-sized hat to fit my large or whatever extra large head, a big head. But I've got all this fabric. I've got all these, projects, and I've got not only the sewing machines back there. I got some 3D printer project stuff too, and the papper actually is in there as well. I need to work on. But while I'm on the topic of sewings, I just did some sewing here yesterday. I sewed a zipper on here. This zipper was bad. These are all Goodwill store finds, and that I wanted to repair. And blessed with great pricing and what some were going to actually take off the shelf. And after I showed them, and they're like, I'm like, no, I'll buy it still. I'd like to try to repair. Don't just pitch it or send it straight to Gary for whatever, a buck or 50 cents, whatever they charge per pound. So I went up sewing the Velcro, which was either stuck to here or is flimsy and falling off. Sewed those on. Um, Sewed on a new zipper for like a buck. It's probably not the heaviest duty zipper, but I got it from Walmart. I guess that's from Walmart. And I wound up using tweezers and carefully my fingernails. Probably kind of tough, so might not be a good idea for everybody. But bending these out and then tweezers again to like, measure the length for this, and then to go down a little further. You can see here's the bottom down here. Um, and this is after I cut out as close as I could the zipper. Yeah, you can see the old zipper edge right there. So I cut that out and then I just sewed. I used a light gray bobbin thread and a dark gray, which looks great, I think, on this side. And you can see the bobbins, the light gray. This side I wasn't as careful and I didn't really worry about it. It's just easier to sew the way I had set up. So one of the stitches is the dark gray or charcoal, and the other is a light gray. And I use a torch. I usually use a torch at the end of my thread to melt the ends. And I also used a torch at the end after I had this clasp back on. The tweezers and finger pressed them back in. I used a lighter to kind of melt this top edge so it's solid, and, sew it in. It's kind of tricky sewing some, unzipping, getting it out of the way, sewing the rest. And then I used the seam ripper down here on the inside to rip this part of the seam. Then when I was all done, I sewed that back together. So there's a pocket too. Yeah, I did a little pocket was coming off, coming apart over here. So it's kind of ghetto looking, but hey, it's okay. Um, Also, this hat had a section here somewhere. Where was that? Here. There it is. Section that was pretty wide actually, where it was coming unraveled. So I've turned it inside out, sewed in from both sides, making sure to forward reverse on the end a few times, sewed in forward reverse, and then I pulled it right side out, and then hand stitched this little area, which isn't that great looking, but it's actually, I think that's just old thread. That was the original where it was coming apart still. I didn't trim it all out real well. And then the hand stitching, yeah, it's not so great, but hey, it works. It looks pretty good actually when you have it, folded out. But that'll be a gift to somebody. It doesn't fit me. I'm probably I don't want to slit it to make it larger. This hat fits, but it's acrylic, and I'm allergic to Orlon and acrylic. Always have been. So this though, I figured since it's folded up, it'll be super simple to just sew in a new liner. So I'll sew in a nice silk or cotton inner liner, maybe even poly fleece to make it even warmer. Not sure I'm going to need that. Probably something like it's softer, like cotton. I think will be touching my skin will be better. So I'll do that. And so then you just fold it up. It'll always be cotton touching my head, and maybe extend down, fold in a little bit, or do 2 layer. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to line that, and I'm debating I might take that off, but we'll see. Got these other patterns here. So these are works in progress fabric, and then this hat too. I kind of want to expand out. So it's a looser. I like that. I have a big head, I guess. I don't know. So I need to widen those hats so they fit better. I don't know. This is one of the fabric I thought would be okay for the gray, and then the orange. I don't know, I gotta figure that one out still. This is a really cool find. Blessing out find for that price. Man, these are like Burton snow pants, and they're that kind of work color yellow, but they're medium, so they actually fit me okay, lengthwise, surprisingly. And the legs, the crotch might be a little tight, so I might wind up loosening that. And I kind of want to experiment on this one to reinforce the crotch a little bit, too, and maybe sew on that in the future. Just like these, I think I mentioned, I want to sew these pant leg bottoms because it's the next area I didn't get to yet. I got to find some material, but you can see how this material is extra denier Cordura like material folded over. And what I'll do is I'll just sew so there's no hem, the same kind of straight seam around the whole leg, and come in the backside as well, up a little bit to seal up that so it's a little tougher on the inside. Kind of more like these legs, but I'll probably go up even higher. We'll see, at least up and inside a little bit. But with these, they've got the Velcro section on each side, and when you have it expanded all the way out, there's a lot of Velcro interfacing. So my thought was, where this right here, the Velcro stops on the inside, outside, I'll cut down and then go at an angle to in between the pockets here, the front and the back on the side, and then put a piece of fabric in there. I don't know what if a Gore-Tex or what. I'll have to see what I can figure out. And maybe with a little insulation layer as well. And sew on each side, so similar like the hats where it expands that out a little more. And then I'll have to see how the fit is of the groin, if I want to expand on that and add some fabric in there as well. But these will be, I think this might even be a pre-COVID find at that price, because the price has definitely gone up. So have to see. Some of these projects have been sitting for years. I had projects that have been sitting since, no lie, since the 90s. So possibly, wait, no, actually since the late 80s, excuse me. Definitely plans from the late 80s. So it's interesting seeing some of these, not only electronics projects moving forward slowly, or maybe I haven't been showing them, but I want to document this so I can embarrass myself. It's long-winded, and I don't sew. And man, I have a sewing station set up with 3D printing. And of course, what I should be working on, more electronics projects. But yeah, so that's kind of the 3D printing, sewing. I need to get the welding papper going as well. Cost-effective papper, working on that as well. So we'll see. We'll get moving forward on some of these projects. And yeah, for now, just look back and embarrass myself, or be embarrassed myself, or just look back and be like, man, it's been that long. Okay, I better work on it. Anyways, hopefully you got projects going on. Stay busy, stay safe, stay healthy, learn something new, save, 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 reuse. If you have to, repurpose. And you really have to, recycle. And just, keep stuff out of the landfill. Get rid of that throwaway mentality. Okay, bye for now.